Hello, my name is Adam Waters and welcome to the first ever RTP conference call. I'm extremely privileged today to be talking with Tom Venuto, the internet's #1 fat loss coach. Tom has been competing in natural bodybuilding since 1989 and has been involved in the fitness industry as a personal trainer, health club owner, manager, nutrition consultant and freelance writer since 1988. Tom's book, Burn the Fat, Feed the Muscle, is the #1 selling diet and fitness book in internet history. And Tom also operates the internet's premier fat loss support community at burnthefatinnercircle.com. And on a personal note, Tom has been a massive influence on me, not only because of his cutting-edge fat burning and mental strategies, but also his bodybuilding secrets blog was the inspiration behind my real-time physique blog. So without further ado, it's my great pleasure to welcome to the call Tom Venuto. G'day, Tom.
Thanks, Adam. I appreciate the nice introduction.
Thanks, mate. Well, I've got a list of questions here for you, and let's say we get right into it.
All right. I'm ready when you are.
Okay, mate. The first one, a lot of people, myself included, have been led to believe that counting calories is not important and we can get away with just counting portions of our nutrition plan instead. Why do you think it's so important to count calories instead of portions?
Well, you could get away with counting portions. The thing about counting portions is you're guessing. You're guessing at your caloric intake, and if you guess correctly, then you get the results you want. So the difference between counting portions and counting calories is the difference between guessing and certainty. So I think the main distinction here is that there's a big difference between saying you don't have to count your calories and saying calories don't count.
Right.
That might sound like the same thing, but it's not. Because if your goal is to reduce body fat, there's one thing that you absolutely have to do, and that is establish a calorie deficit and then stay in that deficit consistently.
Right.
So if you say that calories don't count, that's not correct. It's one of the laws of thermodynamics. It's a law of physics. You know, every bit is real as the law of gravity. But if you say you don't have to count calories, that's also correct. If you don't count calories and you guess, but you're in a deficit, you're still going to lose weight. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense, actually.
So it's the difference between guessing and knowing. That's the primary difference. So if you want to be exact and you want to know, then you want to count your calories. But I think you need to define what we mean by counting calories. I think when you say counting calories, it freaks people out because they don't think it's realistic, and they get this picture in their head of walking around with a little, with a calculator or a little device and punching everything the minute after they eat it. And that's not what I'm talking about with counting calories. I mean, if you want to keep a journal, that's a great learning experience. But when I say counting calories, I just mean some nutrition planning. And what I mean is creating a menu. So you create a menu on paper, you break out your calorie book, or you use some software, tally up all the calories for the day, print it out, and now you have a menu on paper with the calories all calculated, and you can stick that up on your refrigerator, and it's kind of like a goal for the day of how much you should be eating.
Yeah.
And if you look at it that way, calorie counting is something you really only have to do once when you create your menu. So it's not some huge burden or something that's hugely impractical. It's just a matter of menu planning. If you want to go to the next level and keep a journal every day, I'm all for it because it's also a really great learning experience. And you start to memorize some of the amounts of calories in your foods, and you just become aware of portion sizes. And that's really important because most people underestimate the amount they eat. Most people eat a lot more than they think they do.
Yeah, I actually recall a very good passage of your ebook where you say you do get used to eyeballing certain portions of food. And I know that for myself, it's definitely when I go to buy my protein, like salmon or tuna, I can pretty much get down probably within 10 calories how much that is. So it really does start to ingrain in your habits after a while as well.
Yeah, and that's the key word, too, is habits. I think it's a really good goal to become so proficient at knowing the amount of calories in your food that it's unconscious and it's habitual, that you don't have to count calories and keep menus. But in the very beginning, it's one of the best things you can ever do, just for the learning experience alone.
Yeah. Thanks, Tom.